Young and the Restless spoilers for next week indicate Nick Newman is getting busted doing something really bad, and Billy Abbott loses it and lashes out after a big win that might cost him things that are near and dear to his heart. We've got the latest YNR spoilers for the week of February 16th, and we're going to talk about Nick and Billy, plus some action with Tessa Porter, Daniel Romolatti, Sienna Bacall, Noah Newman, and lots more. Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy Abbott's dark road to revenge, and Sally Spectra's growing fears. All right, let's kick things off with Billy Abbott, who seems to be heading down the dark road of revenge, as he has done in the past, and the person that's been keeping him in check, Sally Spectra, is not going to be there to make sure Billy doesn't spiral out again. So, hot on the heels of Phyllis Summers signing Chancellor over to Billy and folding Newman Media into AbbottCom, we see that Billy decided to surprise Sally with a romantic candlelight dinner and flowers for Valentine's Day. Billy wants to put aside their issues for the night and just be together, but Sally is not having it. Even when Billy reminds her that it's Valentine's Day, Sally Spectra says the romance is nice and all, but it doesn't solve anything. And Billy talks about wanting to see Sally on top of the world and for them both to succeed. But then Billy drops the bombshell that Chancellor now belongs to him. And great news, Newman Media now belongs to Sally, or specifically to AbbottCom. Billy tries to say his hands are clean because it was Phyllis, her double-crossed Kane Ashby, took all the Newman assets and signed Newman Media and Chancellor over to them. And of course, Sally Spectra is shocked. She doesn't want this. She said now Billy has Kane as an enemy, in addition to Victor Newman as his enemy. And then Sally tells Billy this is exactly what she was scared would happen, and it's manifesting. And Sally Spectra said she does not want to be collateral damage in this mess that he's created. Billy Abbott confronts Jack Abbott over besting Victor Newman on YNR. And then Billy just snaps. I don't know what he was expecting. I was expecting exactly this reaction, but he loses it on Sally Spectra and is kind of getting confrontational, asking what she's afraid of, and gripes about what's wrong with being ambitious. There's ambitious, and then there's theft, you know? So Billy Abbott says he can't live like this, and he actually has the cojones to storm out on Sally as if she's the one in the wrong. So next week looks like Billy continues his tour, showing off his bad attitude, and this time it's with his big brother. Young and the Restless spoilers for next week have Jack Abbott dealing with an irate Billy, who asks Jack is he really concerned about Billy, or is Jack just ticked off because Billy is the Abbott who finally bested Victor. I mean, I'm sorry, exactly how did Billy do anything? Kane bested Victor, and then Phyllis bested Kane. The contribution Billy made was to go over to the Newman Ranch and distract them for 5 minutes, saying Kane's going to betray them. I mean, Phyllis stole the AI, gave it to Victor, and then he betrayed her, and then Phyllis chloroformed Kane after he beat Victor, because he was going to give everything back and betray her. And so Phyllis took it all so that Kane and Victor both lost. The only thing Billy has done is ride Phyllis Summers' coattails, and he doesn't even like her. And we also have more Matt Clark action coming. As I've been saying here for a while, I did not think he was gone, because he exited off-screen and in a very undramatic fashion, and yeah, he is now confirmed to be back. More on that in a second. So as this week ended, we had Noah going out to Los Angeles trying to win back Sienna, who has dumped him, left him a note, and she tells Noah that she feels like a stranger in her own life and feels alone. And strangely, she says it surprised her, but Sienna admits that she misses Mitch Bacall a lot. And of course, you know, Mitch was her husband forever. She had no idea about the Matt Clark stuff, even though Mitch himself wasn't a nice guy either. But Noah is still very understanding, but he wants Sienna to come back and start a new life with him in Genoa City. She tells Noah she loves him, but that doesn't mean they have a future, and Sienna kisses him. You know, Noah is bringing up that it's Valentine's Day, talks about a fresh start, and more kissing, but I don't think he's going to convince Sienna to come back with him. First of all, it seems unlikely that she would come back to Genoa City at all, and second, if she does, I don't think Sienna is going to be around long term. Third, Matt is back in March, and if Sienna is back in Genoa City by then, Matt just might kill her, so even if Noah brings her back, I don't think it'll go well. Nick Newman busted. Sharon Newman catches Nick with fentanyl pills on Young and the Restless. And it turns out Sienna isn't the only one with Matt Clark on her mind. Nick's thinking about the villain too. So this past week when Victoria Newman and Adam Newman were asking him about his injuries and the surgery and all that, Nick admitted that he's still in a whole lot of pain, and Victoria warned him about medication. So we've seen Nick Newman in the past looking at that little baggie of pills that Matt Clark gave him, and we know it's fentanyl. Next week, we're going to see Nick at Crimson Lights, and he's fiddling with the baggie of fentanyl pills under the table while Sharon is watching. And then she comes back to the table and sees Nick shoving the baggie into his pocket, and Sharon says she's sorry she startled him, but then she wants to know what is Nick hiding from her. I am quite certain he is going to lie to Sharon Newman so she doesn't realize that Nick has illegal street drugs on him, worst of all that he got from Matt Clark, and if those are in Nick's hands, that's a red flag that Nick probably ran out of pills from the doctor visit that Sharon took him to. Roger Howarth confirmed return and Mariah Copeland's legal trouble spoilers. I just hope when Matt Clark's back on the scene in March, and that is confirmed by the way, that Roger Howarth is back. He's filming, so about 4 weeks we'll see him on air. So I hope that Nick doesn't wind up scoring more fentanyl from Matt. Also, next week, Daniel is worried about what'll happen now that Mariah Copeland was arrested and carted back to Genoa City. Tessa Porter says she wants to be with Daniel and is going to push forward with her divorce, but Danny Romalotti is back in Genoa City, and Daniel is telling his dad he has no idea what will happen with him and Tessa. And Daniel is asking Daniel, does he think Mariah will let Tessa back in now that it's all in the open and over and done with? But it really isn't. We know Mariah Copeland got a long road, but it sounds like Daniel is worried that Tessa Porter might reconcile with Mariah. I don't think so, not just anytime soon. Kyle Abbott's Audra Cush kiss and Victor Newman's asset recovery plot on Young and the Restless. I also expect to see more on that kiss between Kyle Abbott and Audra Cush that we saw on Friday's episode. Kyle kissed her and then he dissed her, but I don't think he's nearly done with Audra. Look for more of that. And also Victor and the Newmans plotting to get their assets back from Phyllis and Billy. And I'm sure Sally would rather give back Newman Media, but Billy might be able to block that move.